Welcome to part 2 of this jewelry armoire makeover. Last time I did the front. I began to paint the sides using that same white paint, same brush I've been keeping in that bag and just keep getting out. I'm going to speed up a lot of this footage in this video because a lot of it's repetitious, but I think you're going to want to see everything to see the way things turned out. I always enjoy watching blending on a video, so I was just using a small brush and only concerning myself with mixing the blue into the white and then the blue into the dark green. And I'm using Dixie Belle's Moonshine Metallics in Pacific and Deep Woods. I apologize that some of my video is a little fuzzy. I'm not sure why, but I didn't want to delete. So, my apologies. Yes, I'm going to say it, but it's a trust the process moment here. They came out really dark, which I expected, but it really wasn't what I was going for. So I took this opportunity to use Pearlescent Glaze, also from Dixie Belle, and I'm just using a large brush and I'm pouncing it on just to take down some of that dark color and add a little more of an ethereal feel. I love Pearlescent Glaze. I don't use it enough. It's really pretty. I added it to the front as well. I think you can see that little shimmer of the pearl. I've reattached the sides at this point and the magnet, and everything is thoroughly dry. Very important when you're using transfers, and I am going to be using a lot of transfers. I am using Iron Orchid Designs Menagerie transfer, and I end up using almost the entire set, which this is a pretty large set, so there's going to be a lot of transfers put on this and working around a lot of drawers. I think the only ones that I didn't end up using were the fruit pieces, which I'll use those on another project. They'll be great for cutting boards and wine bottles and all those kinds of projects. So I'm just kind of putting them on all over. I am speeding through some of this, but slowing it down a little bit here because this is kind of a delicate area. I'm going over 3 or 4 drawers here. So you just don't be intimidated by that. Trim it when necessary and just keep working around it. They're very forgiving. I like to take my transfer stick and just kind of use the side of it and go in the grooves and seams so that the transfer gets pushed down in there, and then just, as I said, just put everything, make sure your transfers completely, and then you can use a blade or you can use your fingernail, but make sure that you cut those lines where the drawers open so that you don't accidentally open a drawer and then kind of tear the transfer. So make sure you get a good cut. It's super easy to do with your fingernail. You don't even need a blade. I've completed transfers on the top. I still have the inside of that lid to do, but things are happening. It's moving along. And now I want to do a step that will seal in my transfers and also further lighten up those dark colors. So I'm just using Dixie Belle's white wax. No need to use a clear wax underneath it because white wax is pretty forgiving, and when you wipe it back, it just leaves a little bit of the white. So I love using white wax on dark colors and light colors alike. Between the pearlescent glaze and the white wax, it has toned down that really dark feeling of the deep woods color and also the Pacific color. So I am more and more pleased with every step I take on this piece. This is a custom order, and my client said she liked the Stevie Nicks song Landslide. That whole subject came up just because I asked her if she liked music, because the original design, if you'll remember in part one, which you'll have to go back and check out, I will link it, but she bought an armoire, and the original one, it broke. But anyway, the original one had gold script. So I thought, well, I would maybe use music if she liked music, because Iron Orchid Designs had just released the music page. So the stamp. So anyway, that's how this came about. So I just used the rice paper on my computer, on my printer, and printed out the lyrics to Landslide. Now I'm using a little stencil and just doing a little bit of birds and florals and leaves on the sides of the drawers, just so that every drawer you open, every door you open, there is a pop that gives you a smile. Here's a little tip. I cut off the tips of my chip brush to make a real little stencil brush. More transfers go on the inside, and I'm also using Van Dyke brown glaze to go around the music sheet and around the edges just to give it a more of a worn feel, a vintage appearance. So I hope you're enjoying this content. And if you are, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. I also have a channel called Tuesday Talk, and I can link that in the description box as well for you. Um, we also have a channel that I have with a few other ladies, and we're called the Flippin' Bunch. So again, I'll link that. And we do podcasts and talk about furniture flipping and all kinds of things. So I continue to layer on the transfers all over the place. This is too much fun. Let's talk about this hardware. The original had delicate little holes that were nailed on the front. So these drawers aren't real thick, and there's also that velvet lining in there. So I had to MacGyver these handles that were given to me. I showed them in the first episode, and here's the piece that I used. And that is like a double-edged screw. The one end is a machine screw. So I just measured the piece, the opening, and then you put that in there, and I'm tightening it here. And then I drilled a hole and didn't go the whole way through, of course. And now I'm just gonna screw in those handles, and that's working out beautifully. I just love these little twigs. For the other handles, I had to do some surgery. So once again, they were different. They didn't belong to this piece, so they had a long machine screw and a nut, and that wasn't going to work for this. So I did the same thing, but that bolt wasn't big enough. So I had to use some JB Weld. That's a two-part, it's amazing stuff. I used the steel version. Are you getting anxious to see the big reveal? Well, wait no further. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this jewelry armoire. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. Find us on the web at www.statementdesigns.org and on social media as Statement Designs. Stay well.